a student from Tiffin University, and Tiffin is in Ohio, but we all in Baltimore right now to attend ACJS Conference, okay? And so I'd like to each of you just introduce very briefly who are you and what school level, what's your major, okay? Start from.
My name is Dylan Smith,
Yeah.
and I'm a law enforcement homeland security major, and my project I'm doing is on race and education.
Okay, Jared.
Hello, viewers of Facebook and beyond. My name is Jared. I will not give out my last name. My major though is government national security, and I presented restorative justice.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Kayla Trevino, government national security major. I am doing my presentation on student opinions on national security.
Hello, my name is Natalie Artman. I'm in the second semester of my master's program, forensic psychology, and I presented dual and single parent household influence on delinquency between males and females.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Ekat, and I'm double majoring in psychology and international management, and my project is about global awareness in criminal justice students.
Okay, and I'm Dr. Law. I'm the professor in Tiffin University School of Criminal Justice and Social Science. Okay, now ACJS, this conference is annual conference, right? So usually when people go to conference present, they always more like we thought is like professor, right? It's adults, right? And so I'm so admire students like you, such young age, and you are brave enough to participate and present your paper in this conference. So I wonder what is the motivation? Because it's not
It's a great question.
student like your age is doing this. And here you are. Some of you already finished presentation and some of you will present on Saturday, right? So everybody has to share, but we don't have to necessarily go this way. Everybody can come in. What makes you want to submit a proposal? Of course, in the class, I say, hey, they have ACJS conference. They have a proposal, they call for proposal. So I encourage you to submit, but I know not everybody submit, right? So what's your motivation? What makes you say, yes, I do? Who would like to share first? I think you raise your hand.
Sorry.
Make sure the camera is there.
Oh, yeah.
I keep looking up to
So basically what I said back in, what was it?
Last semester.
Last semester
Uh-huh.
was that it's just a goal of mine, so I set it and I eventually reached it. That's pretty much my motivation, just setting goals
Yeah.
and reaching it to the best of my ability. So,
Okay. So you said the mind say, I can do it.
yeah, I should always say I can do it, so I can. And I did do it, and I thought I did it really well.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah.
Kind of like you said, just last semester with how you talked to me especially,
Yeah.
I got a lot of, you should go to the conference, please go to conference, your baby's growing. So when I started, it was just, the whole reason I came here to major is just, I've seen so many people complain about the criminal justice system and how they're perceived and how they believe the courts work.
Yeah.
So my project was just to address that and try to kind of address everyone's views, try to help everyone in the criminal justice system and decide whether we can actually fix it.
Okay. Let me do a little bit interpretation, okay? He talked about baby, right? Because when I teach this class for several years, and then the beginning of class, I kind of a little bit joking around say, in this class, you are going to have a baby. And students come to shock, look at a baby, right? And then I explain, when I say you have a baby, that means you are going to have a research project from just beginning of your idea, and then submit a proposal, and then you finish your final project. And then, so the whole semester, I can see each student start grow like a pregnancy process, 10 months, right? And then from the small and then gradually bigger, but it takes time and it takes energy and persistence. Okay, so then that's why he say I talk about baby. And a lot of students, they finish project, right? They get a grade and they put the project away, right? But you know, because they have this annual conference, and in your semester is in the time they have a proposal due, right? So then I encourage them, and then I'm so glad all of you like raise your hand and say I'm going to do it, right? So you guys talk about motivation. How about you?
My motivation was stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not really good with public speaking necessarily. I'm usually kind of quiet, depending on who I'm around. Because I know people at home will be watching this and be like, you're not quiet at all. So it was kind of stepping out of my comfort zone to get out there and like make a presentation, but it's like more formal instead of just doing it like in front of the class. And it's, oh, okay, this is kind of formal, but it's more professional this way. And I think it's a good experience for the future.
Yeah. Okay. And I jumped to her and then you. Okay. Okay.
I think the first time when you brought up in class, I was like the first one. I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I think because I heard other students went previously with different professors, and since I'm in a psychology school and it's the holding conference about criminal justice, I think it's going to be good experience to try like do project in criminal justice major, and plus like knowing from previous experiences that I've had going to different conferences, you meet lots of people from different backgrounds. It's going to be professional or different students from different schools. So it's kind of nice, like exchange information, like, or even network. So you never know when you're going to end up, like in the future, like what field. And sometimes like meeting those people can help.
And actually, even as a teacher, when we try something new, it's always a risk. Right? So then several class before you guys, they have class I mentioned about this conference, and people just get lesson and just say, okay, but not me, right? So it's a two-way direction. So actually, Ika just say when I mentioned it, she smiled and like
Me.
at least one student responds, then I can continue to promote this idea, okay? And so I thank you, that's smiling. So, and then I let Nalali last, because Nalali like double dipping here, right? She was my student as for undergraduate last year, 2 years ago. And then now she's graduate student. And so I'm so glad she's part of this panel, so she can have a from graduate student perspective talk about your motivation to submit this proposal. Can you share with us your motivation?
So a little bit like these two said, I wanted to go outside of my comfort zone, and I wanted to be able to network with others. The main reason I did it was the opportunity that it presented, not only to help myself grow professionally and be able to acquire the skills that you need to not only present your research effectively, but to present to a group of people something that I'm not used to, and also gives you a chance to experience the work of others. And outside of the classroom setting, there's so many topics that we don't discuss or go more in depth or take a different avenue from that topic. So it's not only just to present for myself, but to observe all the other research that's being done out there, because there's so much that interesting topics that we haven't even dove into yet. And so there's just great opportunities, not only for yourself personally, but to help others as well.
So then, because you're a graduate student, and then when you look at it and say, did you have any moment say, well, I've been there, down there, now I'm graduate student, I don't have to do that. Or you think you have more responsibility to share because you're a graduate student, so you should share more.
I don't know. I did presentations when I was in my undergrad too, but it was a lot smaller scale. Mainly just in the classroom within the university when you had us do our poster presentations. So this is definitely a bigger scale. I don't think it's because I'm a master's student. I feel like I should be doing it more than undergrad. I think all levels, regardless where you're at, you should be going conducting your own research, going out to conferences,
Yeah.
because it helps you in so many ways.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually that would be a good way. Let's talk about, because last semester, right, you put a poster, right, and then even already looks a little bit big in front of all campus, and you share. And now we come here, we drive, 10 hours, 12 hours? Yeah, to take a lot of time just for a presentation, right? And then you walk in a big setting called, ACJS Conference. I'd like to see what's your, the feeling when you walk in, how do you see yourself, change your perspective about yourself and the setting and your research? Just in that setting.
I guess for me, it was kind of interesting because I'm writing a paper right now for
Yeah.
Dr. Stapley's class
Yeah,
about mass shootings, and
Yeah.
I've already seen 3 or 4 panels on that. How can
Yeah.
I actually try to stop it?
yeah,
And after coming to this conference, I'd say I'd probably be willing to come again, and I'd love to be able to present my my paper in that conference. When I come here, I feel like I'm almost actually making a difference
right?
rather than just sit at a table. Even though I feel TU is definitely above where I feel most colleges are when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Most kids don't do this at least until their master's program, and
Yeah.
I'm doing that as an undergrad student. You
Yeah.
don't see that in most colleges.
Yeah. So do you see yourself change more?
I've changed a lot. For me, I've always loved writing.
Yeah,
I love writing about the CJ system. It's something I've been passionate about since I was little.
yeah,
But after conducting my own research, it's really different.
yeah.
Usually I write 5 or 10 pages and I'm done, but
Yeah.
it was almost as difficult to only write 20 pages on this.
Only.
Yeah, I ended up writing almost 30 and I had to cut it short. It's
Yeah.
when you get passionate about something, especially something that can help change people's
Yeah.
lives and possibly save lives one day,
Yeah,
it just kind of changes everything for you. At
yeah.
least for me, I got to talk about mine to high school students too, because I'm one of the very few who got to do research with high school students.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was talking to Dr. Hurwitz the other day about how rare that is and how our high school students aren't prepared for what they're coming into.
Yeah.
For me, I was not prepared for this, but of course, every single one of my professors has helped me. But
Push you.
yeah,
push
to
you.
do it ourselves, it's pretty much immaculate. A lot of PhD students, a lot of PhD holders do this, and we're doing that without even graduating college yet.
Yes.
So it's really accelerating us.
You will not get to your drinking age, and you already doing research
Yeah.
present in the big conference.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to answer that.
Because he's still very young, not reached the drinking age. Okay, now, Jerry, you just presented yesterday.
Yep.
And then Jerry, several of us was assigned as a chair. Okay, and then I remember, some of you guys asked me, what chair should do, right? But then when I walk in, I saw you, wow, looks like a chair. You welcome your panels, you talk to them, and when you present, nobody believes you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're just like everybody professional. So tell us about your process for that.
I don't know. I just learned from a very young age
Yeah.
that connecting with people is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always found it easy to connect with people on all different economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, political backgrounds.
Okay.
And it's just simple, just by saying, hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to anything this week? Forming connection.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their names, but I learned a little bit about them just 10 minutes of talking that some people didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like having that infrastructure of people
Yeah.
so fast is very important,
Yeah.
which led to a very great discussion
Yeah.
among the entire organization.
Yeah.
And also I had a curveball thrown at me.
Yeah.
The technology was shut down. Well, not shut down, it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So everyone had to present without PowerPoints,
Mm-hmm.
which I wasn't prepared for, but I thought all of us did really well in that.
Mm-hmm.
And just, and that one woman was very surprised by my age.
Yeah.
When I said I was 21.
You said,
And she's
What?
just like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely believe attend this conference was assigned as chair role and carry your own research.
Yeah.
To able to not just present just how are you, actually you present a project.
Yeah, because just the whole baby thing,
Yeah, right.
we worked so long on this, and it's just it's very exciting and rewarding to finally present it
Right.
on such a stage. So
Yeah. And when you see people listen and this.
yeah, and I know during mine especially, people were very interactive,
Yeah.
even staying after and talking.
Yeah.
So
People didn't not ask you a question because you just age 21, right? They
yeah,
ask you a question like your profession.
Right.
Okay.
Just to kind of go ahead, I kind of see, I agree with him a lot with what he's saying. When I walked in, I talked to a lot of people who are like just here to make a difference. A lot of people aren't even criminal justice students or professors. There was a student or a teacher the other day who studied slavery who was here to talk about restorative justice, about how we can change our system because we treat prisoners like slaves.
Yeah.
And I was able to relate to him or her and Jared here both on why we want to change it and how we can. And it's just when you start there, you realize that just because they have a PhD, they're not better than you. A lot of the times that's the perception that the more money you have or the higher degree you have, the better you are than the person next to you. But I feel like I've had a lot of conversations where I feel like I know the topic as well as them.
Mm-hmm.
And they might have done more studies on it, but at least they're still willing to have a civil conversation with you. And that's something you don't get to do a lot, even in regular college. At TU, when we do our presentations, a lot of people are scared or they're out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they wait until the last
I think
semester.
most people up here can say I talk too much. I made everyone here talk because I just feel that's a skill that you need to have. And TU's, this has pushed me beyond that. I might be a talker, but even I wasn't ready for that. And I might be yet to present, but I'm confident going in.
Yeah.
Just because I get to walk up to people and
Yeah.
people that I always thought I would, the people I write my papers and base my work off of, will come up to you and shake your hand and talk about it because you're having the will to do it.
and don't read off slides.
Yeah, that is the most painful thing. That
Because
is
most of these people are just reading off slides.
it's
And
disgusting.
like, I know like one thing to point out during mine was we didn't read off slides because there was nothing to read off.
Right.
And so it was very like interpersonal with each other. Like I would ask questions, they would ask questions, and
I feel like it's worth noting, I guess, the ones that we've seen where people don't talk. They're slated for an hour and 15 minutes, and I'd say each one where people actually interact, it goes that long. And you hate that to cut off.
Yeah.
Because
I
every
didn't
single,
want to stop.
every presentation here, and Jared's is the one we've talked the most in because the 3 presentations
Yeah, it
were,
was.
I had to stop because the people are.
it was
pushing
brand
us.
new. It was, the topic they cover is new and it's gonna be game changing. Restorative justice is, go ahead.
And the people in the audience weren't even all CJs. I know the one woman was, she's a social worker.
Yeah.
It's not criminal justice, but she's interested in the topic. There was a very large audience.
I feel like it really addressed the changes in the criminal justice field. I know I'm dominating this, but this is something I'm very opinionated on. I've always been raised from a young age. I was raised in a very old-fashioned family. You talk to everyone, you shake their hand, and you look them in the eye. And a lot of people they are kind of different on that. And I know there's cultural differences and beliefs that each person has different, but I feel like those go aside when we present a project that everyone's passionate about, especially when you do it with people at a college level or people who've experienced it firsthand. Especially since I came to TU, I've met people who've worked in the field, the people that want to go out and do more. And each student's different too. Kind of like he addressed with economics, a lot of people assume that people from lower levels, they're just automatically going to be sent at the bottom, but that's not true. I know I've been lucky in my life, but I've also met people who have been far below me that have come out and if they don't get a PhD, I'm gonna remind them. Just because you come in from a different level, if you interact, you can get so much further.
And Kayla, you are going to present on Saturday. So how do you prepare yourself? It's coming.
It's coming.
What you're
Well,
thinking right now?
here's the thing. Like, I just finished my PowerPoint.
Yeah.
My PowerPoint just got done last night.
Probably shouldn't have told you that.
It's like, no, but here's the thing. You know, I did all the research. I'm knowledgeable in the field of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, there's things that I don't know. But so I feel prepared going into it because I did all my work for it, all the research. The paper's still pretty fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just like not just put it away and be done with it. After all the work I spent on it, it was months that, you know, we spent working on it. So I think it's nice to be able to go out and like talk about it because it's something I'm passionate about, and then I get to go talk to people who also are passionate about the same things. So, and they're knowledgeable on it, because if I try to talk with people that like, you know, my friends, sorry if anyone's watching this, my friends, like, I try to talk about national security and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about and I don't care. But it's nice to talk about people, talk to people who are passionate about the same things and understand what you're talking about. So it's, I think it's something that's gonna be nice, and I think it's gonna be a good experience for me of how things will be in the future, that I can actually talk about the issues in the field with people.
Yeah, the reason she said that because in the conference they put the topic in the similar field into the same section, and then there are so many sections there. People choose your section because they are passionate about that. So when they sit there, they really want to learn. Not like your friends, right? So that make you feel rewarded, right? And actually, Natalie just finished presentation this morning, and tell us about your experience.
It was
What's your topic, and then what? Yeah.
I did dual parent and single parent household influence on delinquency in males and females. It was a good presentation. There's questions afterwards, and people approached me and said that I did a good job. So it was exciting to be able to share it with others and have people be engaged with what you're sharing with them. Like you said, it's not just you're telling them and they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, okay. You know, that they're actually taking it in, they're asking questions to understand it better. So it was a really good experience. I enjoyed it.
Does anything surprise you?
Oh, in what way?
During the presentation, like.
Oh no, just our technology was off and on too. So you couldn't make the PowerPoint go full screen. So we just kind of had to zoom in on it the best we could. So we had to overcome that technical difficulty.
That's always issue because nowadays we almost feel if we don't have PowerPoint we cannot talk, right? But think about a long time ago, they don't even have PowerPoint. People have to share, right? So just that one thing remind everybody out there or us, if you are doing presentation, don't rely on your PowerPoint. That's just your tool, and then you have to able to share even without PowerPoint, right?
That's my biggest complaint so far. Like, even professors from some of the universities, they fill their PowerPoints like paragraphs. And it's the golden rule, I feel like. It's like a line. If you have to read off your PowerPoint, you don't know your project well enough. That's always what my teachers have told me. And I remember a teacher pulled me aside first semester when I came in from high school, and he goes, "You do your PowerPoint like that again, I'm gonna stop you." Right. And it's not even because he meant it in a bad way. It's just when you read off your PowerPoint, the whole idea of that was to have knowledge and let them know what your project is like. Because understand that they're not going to know most of those terms. That's where you put the stuff that is difficult to understand and comprehend. Because when he talked about restorative justice, that's a topic that I know about, but I'm not an expert. And it's going to be the same through mine and all of them sitting here. Is our projects are something that's exclusive to us and something passionate about us. When we study terror, I know the two sitting next to me have both studied terror also. Terror is something that changes. So people that are sitting at home just see it on TV and instantly, especially in America, we just look at terrorists and we have that instant generalization about what it is. And a lot of the time when you learn on PowerPoints, that's what you get. And you just don't want to have that, especially in this field.
I know for me personally, like yesterday, it taught me very quickly to be quick on my feet. So when I noticed the technology wasn't like happening, I made like a joke. A quick joke. And
make connections.
And I was like joking around, this is what happens when we rely on technology, just like connecting with the audience, and people like snickered and stuff. It's just like the act of speaking confidently, not reading off your slides, knowing what you know. You don't have to be an expert in this field, but just like connecting, speaking confidently. You can speak on anything and speak confidently, and people will believe you. I mean, it just
you can be wrong. That's something too. Something
don't afraid to be wrong.
That's if any students watch this, please don't read off your PowerPoints. We sit in the back, and I kid you, nobody's probably listening to you when you're presenting, but if they are, they want to learn.
Don't do death by PowerPoint.
Please.
Please.
It's something that first semester students are so bad about. It's something we preach over and over. The students that are above them, the grad students, the teachers, were like, we paid for this class because we want to enjoy it. And when a teacher reads off a PowerPoint, they go around and they ask questions. They give you similar stories of their life. I'm not saying that I'm not a perfect presenter by any means. I fiddle a lot. It's something that nerves you have to overcome. But if you're not willing to try to overcome them, this presentation especially helps you push through that. I know that, especially for me and Jared, we had a class last semester with a teacher who was a police officer for a very long time, and we covered very controversial topics. But when you read off of a PowerPoint, you don't understand it. He almost never used a PowerPoint, but I learned more in that class than they had.
He had like 2 sentences per slide.
I would say his PowerPoint skills aren't the greatest, but he's probably my favorite teacher I've had. So he goes out of his box and he gives us ways to become successful students.
Okay, now.
I was hoping you were gonna skip me.
Can we see you in the screen?
Yeah, she's there.
She's still there.
I'm still
here.
Okay, because you are going to present on Saturday. And
I
the
mean,
topic will be kind of different from other people, right? So do you want to share a little
Yes,
bit?
I mean,
I don't know your topic first.
it's global awareness and criminal justice students. So
Good.
originally I was just gonna do global awareness, and you're like, oh, it has to be connected to criminal justice, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to show, make all the surveys just for criminal justice, like versus non-criminal justice students. But I mean, generally, I'm like very outgoing, so like to me, presenting like at the conference with people I don't know is like normal thing.
Okay.
Just because I've been traveling and like doing lots of different things.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be interesting to see how many people gonna show up
Yeah.
and to see
On
the
Saturday.
presentation. Yes,
Yeah.
and I mean it's good experience
Yeah.
to like meet other people who like wants to be here.
Yeah.
And like I feel like it's very important when like people who pays for their education at Tiffany University, they don't take this extracurricular opportunities, because when you said it, I was surprised that I was the only one who was interested in it, because like it's a big thing, you know, you pay for education, you have to get something else out of it. I mean, there are lots of students that miss out on opportunities, and when they graduate, they can't find jobs,
Yeah.
they can't find fellowships or anything
Yeah.
like that. So.
Yeah. I have a 50 student from 2 class, and this ending point.
Yeah.
Missing 2 students
Yeah.
this afternoon, you
They
know.
decided they were scared,
Yeah.
but
So now, first of all, take courage to willing to submit, right? That's
Yeah.
the first step, right?
Right.
And then you got a acceptance later. Can anybody share a little bit when you, because this maybe a lot of you, this is the first time you submit, and when you got that later, tell you congratulations. What's the moment looks like?
Well, I know for me, I was like, well, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, it was like, it's kind of like a roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
the entire time is slowly building up, and now it's like the descending part for me, because I
Yeah.
presented.
Yeah.
But I mean, for
Getting
you guys,
to-
for you guys, you're just
Yeah.
like on the
Yeah.
tip point, so
Yeah.
now you're just going down.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just like, nothing in a bad way. I don't know. I was excited. I don't know, for like obviously you're excited because you're in the same class. You're like,
I'm ready.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It was exciting. I'm glad I went. I was hesitant. Not gonna lie at first.
Yeah.
You
Remember
remember?
the first time I said, I'm going to try, I'm not just going to do the last day when I'm
It
prepared,
just
right?
because it was a money part for me.
Yeah.
As of many college students.
sure.
Yeah, but
Like
yeah,
once that barrier was like relinquished, I
Yeah.
guess
yeah,
like a correct term. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. Once
Yeah.
that barrier was
Yeah.
down. So
yeah. Because you need to commit the 5 days, right?
yeah,
And then 5 days you are going to miss class,
yeah,
and then also talk about financial burden,
Yeah.
you know, and then because they're no longer in the class, you're no longer in my class, right?
yeah.
And you already got your grade last semester, so you can easily say, well, I don't know you, you know, and this is nothing to do with this semester. You have your other class to worry about. But this conference comes in between of this semester, on top of your other commitment, right? And so for you to really say, okay, these 5 days, I'm willing to prepare my cash, right? You know, and then go there, and that's really
right.
a courage, right? So share a little bit about when you got the acceptance.
Oh, yeah.
letter.
Well, I kept looking at my email because I was like,
You are waiting?
yeah, because I'm like, I don't know if I'll get it. I was like, I'm gonna apply, but I probably won't. They probably won't accept me. And I was actually shocked that I was accepted, and kind of like, do I really want to go?
Yeah.
Now that I've been accepted, I don't
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
I was even up until like the day we were gonna leave. I was like, I don't know if I want to go.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Because if I didn't go, I knew I was gonna regret not going.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be a good experience, and I've had a good experience so far. So
Wow. Wow.
I'm glad that I went for it.
So when you pack your suitcase, can you say, maybe don't have
I was like
it?
sitting there packing, and I'm like, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? All my friends were like, go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You can't miss out on this. So I was like, you're right. Go.
But also a lot of people around you didn't want to come, right? So you can just, I just want like them, right?
Yeah.
Why I have to
Yeah.
come, right? Yeah. So I'm glad you overcome and then put all your
Oh yeah, me
suitcase.
too. I'm just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah. How about Natalie? When you get
I was really excited. This was the first major scale conference that I applied to, so getting that email saying that it was accepted into their schedule was really exciting. And
Yeah.
I was just ready to, as soon as I got it, I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm all ready for it.
When you book your, I know you fly through here.
Yeah.
When you book your ticket, when? Or when?
Maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
So we knew we were gonna come out here, but we weren't sure like how exactly or how many days we wanted to spend out here. But we decided if we're coming out here, just go all for it. So
Yeah.
we spent a week out here and got to explore some.
And also, actually, for me, that's also a new experience. This is my first time in my teaching career. I really bring the student with me to come to conference. You know, of course, I can say, I'm just going by myself, you know, I'm going to take care of this, and that, right? But on the other hand, I feel like I'm have been selfish, right? Such a good experience. I really want to share, you know. So then when I start to encourage, if she didn't smile, I may just say, okay, forget about it. But then when you guys start to respond, then that put me more responsibility. And when I rent the car and there's such giant SUV, I call my sister and say, what kind of burden I took myself? So I have this big car and I can pick no student, and then I need to drive about 10 hours. I don't necessarily need to have to do this, right? So it's also on my part is also give me courage, you know, encourage to say, well, you already coming to student, and student already come in, right? So then let's do it. And then I'm so glad you guys help me. And then you guys, the first one help me because help me book this PMP, right?
Yeah.
Talk about the experience.
I mean, since I applied, since you mentioned ACJ conference, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm applying, I'm going. I didn't think about getting accepted, not getting accepted. So when I sent my application, I got email back. I'm like, of course, it's me, you know. I'm like, of course, again, another trip to another state, you know.
Yeah.
And it was very exciting, but
And then you come to my office.
Yeah, and I'm like, where are you staying?
I
What
see.
are we doing? You know, it's kind of good process to work with you and to plan and stuff to help out. But I mean, I'm excited to be here and tomorrow when we're going to go to Washington DC and have another experience. I'm very excited because I wanted to share with students they never been in DC and it's another program that CFIN offers internship in Washington DC. So I always encourage students to go and explore because it's amazing opportunity when you spend whole semester there. Not just doing your internship, but meeting so many people. You never know, you walk in the street, who you're gonna meet. There's so many people out there. And when people complaining that they can't find internship or jobs, it's because people don't take this initiative to go and put yourself in a spot where you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
You know? So.
So if you appreciate this PMP because of her, I said, come to my office. Because I never booked this kind of hotel. I have no experience. So I said, come sit with me and then let's look at the house, how it looks like. And then with her encouraging me, I said, okay,
Let's go.
So then we already have house, right? And then you guys already accepted. And then the last thing to do is we need to get here, right? We can still say no, right? See how many students still say no. Yeah, and actually, some of you, this is the first time out of Ohio, somewhere. Tell about this.
I've been to Arizona a couple times, but none since I've really been old enough to experience it.
Yeah.
She likes to joke that I'm the only one who can't drink here because I'm the youngest one.
Yeah.
But this has been an amazing experience for me. It really kind of hit home for my project because when we drive everywhere, we take advantage that we get to drive in our car because we see people walking the streets begging for money. And
Oh, yeah.
that's a major reason I did my project. You just kind of want to always help them, but there's a stereotype that we can't because of there are people who do it for no reason. They live better than some of us and they just stay on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I feel like getting out has made me realize that I'm a little bit more passionate about that part of my project. I'm going to become a cop in my life, hopefully. But I feel like I've always wanted to teach one day, and I really feel like I want to focus in this field and how we can kind of address the economic disparity and about how we can help people. I've always seen it being from a community that's by no means well off, but I've never seen it on this scale. this conference is really just, if I hadn't come, I would have never known that. I would have probably just sat at home and wondered what else I could do that night, like what movie I could watch on Netflix. But I had plenty of days where I wondered, especially when I thought we had to pay to stay at a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where I'm gonna find the money for one night, much less 5.
Yeah, 220.
Yeah, please
For
don't
one
even
night.
say that number. I know if I hadn't come, I wouldn't know any of them, and I'd say we've all become pretty close, especially when we have to sleep very close together. I know I've become a little bit. I've definitely become friends with most of them, I'd say, even though I like to give ECAT a hard time because she responds. But it's the experience is something you can't pass up. When you have the opportunity, especially with kids your own age and people that are passionate about what you do, it's really hard to turn up.
More people should definitely do this.
Yeah, I had already told Dr. Law I'd come recruit kids. This has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. I've been fortunate enough to go to conferences specifically for community service work, but this is all written in my textbooks on terrorism.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people sitting next to me, all 4 of them can agree that we need to address a lot of things. And this is the conference where it's done.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything without research, and there's enough research here to probably supply the whole field.
Yeah.
There's 3 presentations in each panel. I'm panel 417, and I'm early in the day on Saturday.
Yeah.
I could not imagine what happens. It's crazy to think how many people genuinely come to this conference to try to help other people. And it's kind of overshadowed because of the money tag that goes along with it.
Wow.
I just
What's
wanted
your new experience?
I just wanted to add about like during my presentation, even though like mine was a regional survey, it opened up like a lot of people's eyes just about like restorative justice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And also people surprised me to know that our university allow we to do survey to our students, faculty. Today at the presentation I went to, Nicole presentation, the speaker say their school institution not allow them to get survey from student and faculty.
Right.
Yeah, so that's very hard. So we already have an advantage. Our school is very research friendly university, so you're able to get a first-hand experience
Which helped
from
a lot.
those data.
Right. I feel like we get a lot more credibility now too. TU is a very small-scale university, but I honestly feel like we do more work than most of the big colleges.
Yeah.
I feel like the work we do is really impacting people. We have professors, they'll sit down with us one-on-one. I spent more time in your office than I had in classes. You've helped me through every step of the way, and all of my teachers have encouraged me, from Professor Cashin to Dr. Stapley. They all sit down and say this is something you can't pass up. And to have teachers do that for you, it kind of pushes you forward, because these are the people that have succeeded and are telling you this can help you.
The teacher try you.
Right. I feel like when you do it yourself, it's nothing.
Let's go.
Right.
How about you? What's your new experience from this time?
A new experience? Oh my goodness. It's just been a kind of a whirlwind because, I haven't been to Baltimore before. So it's nice to be in a big city, and kind of like meeting new people because like I've had classes with people and, I've never talked. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
and
when you're forced in a car for so long, you get to talking and like living together and like going out to the store and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been nice. Like I don't know, because I don't usually go places with people I don't know. So it's nice to like go somewhere where you don't know anybody and just like get to establish like relationships and like we're all like getting along really well and it's been a good time. So I think that's definitely something where like ECAT said, people are always scared to go places where they don't know anybody. But when you do that, you still can like make friends and you just have to take control of that. And take
I think
advantage of
for
it.
these couple of days we maybe talk more than the whole semester.
During class I like
I didn't even know she was in my class. She had to remind me. Everyone that I know from that class will look at me and run the other way because I talk too much. I know a lot of them will go, do you ever stop? No. I think Kayla can say I probably harassed her the entire first day because I'm not going to be in the house with somebody that doesn't talk. And I wouldn't have known most of them. I wouldn't know any of them if they didn't talk.
Yeah, so when you say you want to come, and I'm kind of like, really? But then you insist, I'm going, right? And then like they come to my office talk about something, but you kind of quiet there and you say, I'm going, right? So that persistence, I think, is very good. And then now we finally see you. And then from the first day in the car, she's always very quiet, right?
Yeah, that 10-hour drive was one of the most interesting moments of my life. I can honestly say I would fly next time, no matter how much I like you guys. Being shoulder to shoulder with somebody in a car.
You know what? If we fly to here, we won't get this close.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say I love being close to you guys, but
Right.
I'm not a touchy person. And being in a car for 10 hours, especially Dr. Law, you're great, but your driving scares me. And ECAT, you're not much better. I see you laughing. We tried to follow you. The three of us sat in the car. Yeah, the three of us sat in the car, and the entire time we were like, this might be the end.
Okay, yeah. And also, I really appreciate they may be young, but they have a mature heart. Okay. So when you, especially he is leading me for GPS, okay, and he give me step by step, very slow, and he said, I'll give you heads up, okay? And then when even you guys talking, and he said, even I'm talking, I pay attention, I'll make sure we get there. Oh my God, that's really good comfort for me, because we drive to midnight, right?
We were driving,
right? But
we didn't even get home
we
till 4.
encourage each other, like they're not like other kids. Just, I'm asleep, you drive yourself. No, we like work together, right? Like a project, right? And then make sure they say, Dr. Law, it's next exit, okay? And then you go to the right, okay? Very far, right?
Yeah.
But because, sorry, a few times I missed.
Yeah.
He said, go out, and I said,
It's okay. I reminded her she has 2 rights.
and he said, that's okay. I said, what can I do? Sorry.
Okay.
He said, it's okay. We can do next one. Okay. It's only extra 2 minutes. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll be fine.
Right.
Oh my gosh. 21 years old.
20.
20.
You know, keep reminding me.
And then we start, they treat me, even I'm kind of a teacher professor, but they also treat me like a peer, right? I think that's very good, because I have to drive because I'm the one renting the car, so I have liability, so I have to drive. And I ask them, you just talk to me so I can be awake, right? And then by not only talk to like something else, talk about direction, then that's also the life. In the life, you need even you get older, you still need a direction. So then when they do the project, I'm helping you guys. But then when we do the road driving, you guys help me, right? So then I think this conference helped us to get to know each other even more, right? And then tonight actually the reason not only here, because we rent this house is very comfortable, we drive so much. We like open house for other professors, students also from our university, but they have their own commitment. But we are so fortunate we have Natalie to join us. And actually a lot of people you don't know before tonight, right?
That's true. I've seen you around campus, but I'm not familiar with anyone else. So I was really glad that you invited me over, and I got to have some good conversations about, just personal stuff and academic stuff. It's good.
Me, when I opened the door, I'm never gonna forget her face. She looked at me like, who are you? And am I at the right house? I've never seen somebody look so scared. I'm not that intimidating. She looked at me and I'm like, yeah, this is the right place. Go ahead. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, we were panicking. We were cooking.
Yeah. I should probably mention, I don't cook much at home.
Yeah.
So anyone reading this, if they know, or hearing this, if they know me, they're gonna be like, they're lying. If we panicked and everyone hears, we might have set off a smoke alarm. It's okay. The house didn't burn down, but we got through it. It's one of those things that if I had never really gotten close with Jared, I probably would have never cooked. And I can also say Dr. Law setting her alarm for the wrong time the first day we were here. That definitely helped, because we all had to be up and get her moving, and we were in bigger trouble.
Yeah, that's something I also really appreciate. We came here we get here around like 2 or almost 3 a.m., right? 2. And then they worry about our life for this week. So they went out to do shopping, grocery shopping. So our refrigerator have food, everything. And I thought, well, they'll be tired next morning. And I have presentation at 8 o'clock at 9:30. So I'm kind of saying, okay, if they didn't wake up, I can just sneak it out to the conference and they won't hear anything about my conference. I can just come back and then say, I finished, right? And surprisingly, for some reason, I set my alarm supposed to be a.m. I set to p.m. And I didn't know. I'm still in my dream, and somebody knocked my door, and then it's you, right? Say, Dr. Luo, we are going, just let you know, we are going to go to conference in 1 hour. I mean, you have to wake up, right? And then when I wake up, I heard the downstairs kids already, they are eating breakfast. They are ready to go. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I said, do I have time to take shower? And they said, yeah, take your time. So that moment, they become my parents. And they went to conference with me, and actually, I'm so glad. I don't think I even get it by myself, without their direct.
We dropped you off.
We did do that.
Yeah, they dropped me off in the wrong building. But then everything turned out we start in the right foot, right? So then they park the car, they come to the setting, and now they already there. When I walk in, you guys not there yet. Welcome me. I kind of like, I see my family, So that turned out to be a very good start, right? And then later we have Jerry, and then every day becomes smoothly, right?
Mhm.
And every day we have very good food. This trip we done, oh my God, this guy is a good chef.
I'm a little out of that.
He
Yeah.
don't want to shoot himself down.
We
didn't burn the
that.
house down tonight. We might have had 5 stars.
Yeah. How you prepare food? Can you tell us your cooking experience?
Well, I mean, I give all the credits to my mom. Definitely,
Yeah.
100%.
Your grandma.
Thank you, Mama Chesnick. We all appreciate it.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Definitely my grandma and my mom and my brother, which are the most 3 important people in my life. Right? So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes.
They taught me everything that I know today.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah. So student in another level. Original, I thought we should just buy instant noodle, right? And we just
Yeah.
eat, right?
Yeah.
Didn't know every night we like a home, a family.
Yep.
They cook.
each night we've had dinner together.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Since we've been
We've
here.
all sat down at the table. And I
Yeah.
feel like I'm back at home almost. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. And I have 2 girls and 2 sons. A family here, and now another one, the oldest one. Just come on, look at now we have 5 kids, right? I think that's definitely a very good experience, right? Okay, so before we finish, maybe everybody just give us some suggestion for the future student or yourself, encouragement.
I just want to go down the road.
Oh yeah, maybe we start from.
That's a good
Me? I mean, advice about like coming to conference.
Yeah, or
I mean, like,
yourself, your student.
yes, I would encourage people, like, even if you think your project is not good enough, still try to apply, because you never know what they're looking for those conferences. And also, like, try to take all those extracurricular opportunities, because they're like, TCAP has so many actually conferences. They email you about going somewhere like for a couple hours, for a couple days, so definitely take opportunity to like do all those things, because like I didn't know them before. Like, I had Jared in my class, but like we never talked. Like,
Right.
and it's kind of nice to know them, like you meet new people, like you learn something about them, they learn something about you, like, so you exchange information. And in some sense, like when you meet so many people in your life, those people inspire you to do something else, maybe their project, maybe their like a story or something like that. So I think it's very important, not just to be in the conference and present, but also meet people. I feel like this is a big aspect that we miss on, like making new connections.
Wow. Melanie?
I would say don't be afraid to take any opportunity that presents itself, because there's so much out there that you can gain and to help yourself grow, that if I wouldn't have taken this opportunity to come to this conference, I know certainly I wouldn't have been able to have the courage to do a presentation in front of a bunch of professionals that I wasn't familiar with, or be able to learn the stuff that I did learn here. So there's so many opportunities that are out there to help you grow as a professional and independently, that anything that comes along that you're even remotely interested, even if you're shy or reserved and you're kind of anxious about taking a step forward and you're like, is this really something that is for me? Like, if I'm not a social person, or, like how you said, you don't think that your paper is good enough, just take all the opportunities you can, because it'll help you in so many ways that you probably won't even recognize it until it's long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so mine is definitely learn to talk to people. That's a big one, because when you don't talk to people, you don't get to have like actual good conversations. Because like talking to like other college students is really helpful, because they understand the different things you're going through. Because like I don't talk to people on campus. That's my thing. I don't talk to people. I just go to class and go home and work. Like I don't do anything. But it's nice to like talk to other university students and be able to like discuss our topics and things that we're knowledgeable in with each other. So even if you don't like do something as big as going to a conference, like talk to your classmates and like make friends and talk about stuff, because it's really helpful.
So which one is you? This one is you or that one is you?
This one's me. The one that talks more is me.
Wow.
It just
So-
takes me a while to like get comfortable. Normally I'm just like,
Yeah. Again, on the way here, whenever actually she just keep quiet because she wants to take some notes and she wants to study, and then he said, "Are you still there? Are you almost there?"
Yeah.
You know? So kind of friendly,
Yeah.
remind her that we know you are here.
Well, there was a time it wasn't so friendly. When you started to drift off the road, I was mostly like, Caleb, please grab the wheel. Like, this is not my time.
So okay, so for you, you appreciate this kind of reminding? Okay.
At least I know everyone. At least someone appreciates it. I see that look from ECAT down there. She just jerked her head as soon as I said it. But I agree with you.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, wow. I have a lot to say,
Yeah.
but I'll say it in short.
I
No,
didn't
but
know he can speak this much. Kind of, in my class, you also use the class.
I have hearing loss. So,
Really?
yeah.
Which
So,
side?
both. I was born with it.
Oh.
I don't know if I ever told you. That's why I stay quiet. So I can't hear. So
Did
like,
you hear us?
yeah. So like, let's say if ECAT was talking, I can't hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was born this way.
okay.
I don't know who made that song. But anyways.
Okay.
So anyways, make mistakes. Definitely make mistakes. I know that like kind of sounds dumb, but like make mistakes. Like I can't tell you how many times I made mistakes. Make it during your undergraduate, not during graduate, definitely. For sure.
For sure.
I'm sure you can add on that.
Yeah.
But like make mistakes. Don't be afraid to take chances. Do ACJS, do conferences, do everything. Don't read off PowerPoints. I can't stress this enough.
Please.
Do not.
Please.
Seriously. Make as many mistakes as you can, learn from them. Know your material. Do not put stuff on your presentations that you do not know.
Right.
Professors will call you out. That was one mistake that I did, and I didn't even notice and called out, and I don't do it anymore.
Right.
Definitely do that. Let's see, one other thing. I was actually talking about this to you earlier. A philosophy that I learned from a very young age was measure twice, cut once.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that you should measure as many times as you possibly can until you get it done and you cut it once. Because you have one opportunity to prove yourself. You have one shot. And I feel like this is our opportunity. It's a one shot, and like prove ourselves.
Yep.
So
How about if you cut it wrong? When you cut it and you still
it's still an opportunity. Like I
Exactly.
mean, don't be afraid to cut wrong. I mean, it's gonna happen. Like we're not perfect.
Exactly.
But like just taking the chance, getting uncomfortable. It's good to be I'm sure like you probably were uncomfortable too in some situations. All of us were. But it's you learn when being uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
So
That's when you learn best, for sure.
definitely. So
Wow.
a lot of life lessons
Yeah.
to learn.
Yes.
Wow. How about you?
I'm kind of going to go on that motivational run where he was going, but it's one of those things. Knowledge is power. When I come here and I learn and I get to talk to people who are passionate about what they're doing, for me, knowledge is my favorite thing. You learn, you get to talk, and my friends tell me I know too much sometimes. It's too good for me. I talk about what I learned and how I learned it every day. And the professors at TU are a little different. I know we have one-on-one time, and they're willing to share everything with you. And especially the kids at TU need to take this. A lot of colleges still don't get the opportunity or the knowledge. TU crammed this down my throat. It sounds like I'm saying it in a bad way, but if they didn't do it, I wouldn't be here. And for me, I've never been scared to present. I'm a talker, and like I said, most of these people are looking at me like, yeah, you are. But I don't know. It's one of those things, if you don't experience, especially in the criminal justice field, it might be growing, but the jobs are very limited. and you have to train, and they have to dedicate lots of money to you to actually get you ready for your job. And to be able to have the knowledge, the experience to show that you're going to go down this path, to just have those networking connections. You never know when you could run into it. For me, I met a kid when I was 10 years old. I met him at this conference on the way to the bathroom. He's now actually going for his master's in Homeland Security, which is odd because we lived on the same street and now we're going for the same major. But you just never know who you're going to meet again. Like he presented with some professors, and one day you could be writing a book with those professors.
Yes.
You never know. Especially for me, I'm in a field that's relatively new. Homeland Security really took off after 9/11, obviously. Right. I want to write a book. I always have, and I don't know if I can, but we're going to find out. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yes.
And my professors, once I told them I was going for this, even the professors that are going to miss me in class have told me to just go. It's something you have to take, and I tell the students the same thing. I know I was one of the more talkative ones in your class, and I tried to push a certain member who's not here, and if he's watching this, he knows what I'm talking about. He's the one who told me to come here, and he didn't come, and I did. But it turns out I'm going to bet that.
Are you talking about?
I am. I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna say Brian, but it's okay. I really learned a lot here, and especially everyone sitting next to me. I feel like when I look at them, I'm always gonna remember this.
Yes.
The 10-hour drive, especially, we're getting ready to make it again, and I can't wait. We learned a lot. We get to meet a lot of new people and experience new things, and to me, that's the greatest thing in the world.
And also, a lot of you going to graduate. This is your last semester.
That's our next step.
Why? Last semester.
Yeah.
So maybe I want you to all say one thing. Give yourself a wish, a blessing to yourself. Each of you say one thing you want to give back to yourself. Blessing yourself. Who come who first?
I mean, like, start. I mean, I wish that, I don't know, like I have everything, I do everything that I want. So like, I would probably say enjoy more present time, because sometimes I have tendency to look forward to do something else, and like I miss part of being here, like talking to you now. Like, oh, I'm looking forward tomorrow. Like I have to enjoy it. So like I feel like the one advice I would give myself is like, hey, you can stop for a second, enjoy the moment now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll start it. I'll push others to do new things. It's okay. What we're gonna do is, for me at least, it's gonna push me to do more work. I've always kind of after coming here, I kind of decided I'm gonna try to go home and I'm gonna try to change it there. For me, community service has always been what drives me. I've had thousands of hours, and that's something that it's not even to brag about. It's just something to be proud of, because you get to meet new people and do new things. But for me, it's kind of giving me ideas for new projects to pull up, and I'm sure the individuals sitting next to me are going to hear from me, hopefully, about projects I can do. I'm going to try to talk to the people in the community and try new things. I want to help the people, and you want to change where you're from. You want to benefit everyone around you. And for me, it's kind of the next step to grad school, probably. No matter how stressed I am thinking about grad school, there's just some decisions. The stressful ones are probably the right ones. This was the most stressful one for me, and it's the right one, I think.
The right one.
Right.
Wow. How about who will be like to give yourself a blessing?
A blessing. That's kind of a hard question. I don't know, but I guess it would be focusing more on the future and looking more into a multi-dimensional like way. So kind of like what you're saying, like going back home, like fixing it there and then expanding.
Yeah.
Like I know me personally, I don't know if anyone here, but I thought about service,
Right.
Military, and I feel like military has always been my kind of route. I just feel like it's important to me, and it's important to a lot of things, to a lot of people. And I don't know, that's like a blessing, and I may or may not do it. I don't know, like it's really a great thing for CJ majors, especially, that we have a lot of doors.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to open up which ones. Yeah. And like military route might be one. I don't know. I just like definitely don't be afraid to go through a lot of doors. Just never close them. So.
Do you remember the one I said, the Chinese words, the door and mouth?
You told us.
You told me like.
You taught me how to say I love you, and I'm telling you right now, it looks like symbols.
Yeah.
I had it in my freshman year, right?
Yeah. No, I tell them in Chinese words, ask is door, and then inside is mouth.
Mhm.
So that means when you want to, you use your mouth to open the door.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very
So
insightful.
yeah. So the other day we went to eat sushi,
Yeah.
and then
Oh my
he really needed water, and he worried like to ask the waitress give him a water, and he said, no, it's okay. He said the water fountain in the hotel. We can just
Or
go
going
fill
right
it.
next to it, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of say, I raised my hand, and then waitress said, how can I help you? I said, can you help him fill the water? There's a bottle like this big.
Yeah.
She said, sure. You know, and then come back with the whole water, and then for him, he kind of said, oh, I said, just ask it, you get it, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I know for me personally, I don't know about other people, and I can share like if you don't mind, like
Yeah.
something of last summer.
Yeah.
I was fired from a job, which I'm not embarrassed to say about.
you fired.
I was fired. I worked for a week. I interned for a week.
Okay.
I was working, and I agreed with what I was working with.
Mhm.
I was passionate about it, but it's what you were asking for, and I'll explain in a second.
Yeah.
So it's a house assistant action, and basically what it is like going door to door, which is fine. I'm fine with talking to people. I thought I did well at conversation. I can talk to people. I'm comfortable talking
Yeah.
to people,
Yeah.
but asking for money is a
Um,
different thing.
yeah.
And like I know me personally, and that's why it was difficult to ask for water because like I was taught not to ask for things.
Okay.
You earn it, and I
You
think
earn it.
yeah, and like especially like doing like this conference, I feel like we all earned this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we worked so hard to get
Right.
where we're at, and
Yeah.
like we're finally at that shining moment.
Okay.
So
Wow, that's good. That's very good. Mindset. You know, you
Yeah,
said you
and-
work for it.
and I was angry that happened, but I told myself, I'm like, Jared, you gotta get up and you'll find something else, and I did, and I found something else.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like I said, there's gonna be multiple doors open if
Yeah.
you just
Wow.
Don't close them.
yeah.
Wow. See, I asked for it. I asked you guys submit the proposal,
Yeah.
and then I earned this relationship. I earned to get a chance to read these beautiful books from all of you, and I got a chance to be 5 days mom, weekend mom, and I really appreciate all of you help me to get a very good experience for the taking student to the conference, to learn it's okay to trust students.
Right.
Right, because sometimes when we get this responsibility, we will assume, well, they are not mature. I need to take
Right.
the whole thing without knowing I earn the most.
Right.
You know, they take care of me, right? So, well, I think I have a bright future because all my students are going to grow up even better and more mature. When I get so old, they are going to help me. Right? Wow. So overall, is this a good experience, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Say it's something you can't miss.
Do it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do it. If you are in the process of hesitate to not doing something you're not comfortable with.
Definitely take that leap of faith.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay to say I'm not comfortable, and
Yes.
then your teacher going to help you, or you will help each other. So you are not too young to try new things, right? But
Right.
don't read from PowerPoint.
Yeah.
You don't know
oh
when
my
you're
God,
not
please.
gonna
I gotta emphasize that one
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah.
Do not kill me by PowerPoint, please.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah. So we will have 2 more days in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
tomorrow we are going to go to Washington D.C. That'll be
Yeah.
brand new experience, and then
I'm excited.
and then I don't
We
know,
could've done
Friday,
this.
Saturday we are going to meet to
Yeah.
hear more
Yeah.
before we head back home. But
Yeah.
And then the run back.
Yeah.
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 yeah, but we are going to enjoy every moment we are going to
Yes. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
in this, and hopefully you all enjoy our sharing, right? Okay, are we good?
I feel like there's one more testament.
Okay.
Especially, this is
Okay.
more for ECAT because she's Luke, but
Yeah.
he gets to work at the White House. And if he hadn't worked there, it's another thing of networking. If you don't know people and go out of your comfort zones, we wouldn't be going to the White House to get a tour. That's something most people don't get to do.
Yeah.
We get to see new things and try new things. For me, I never thought I'd be able to step foot on the White House.
Yeah.
I'd never even be able to see it in the distance, but
Yeah.
it's kind of just one of those testaments of going above and beyond. You might receive something you never expected.
Yeah, one of our alumni now working in the White House, and then that's why we got the chance to go to visit White House tomorrow. So wish us the best, and we looking forward to hear more from you. If anything, any question, you can post that in that post. We will get back to you.
Here's my phone number.
Call me anytime.
Okay, let's say goodbye to our. Bye.